Okay, we are going to be reviewing the test, and rewind this, play as many times as you need to. Hopefully you'll get it. This is something that you can watch at home, and also, uh, just a little extra if you don't quite get it the first time. So number one is 4/5. It's 4/5 plus 5/3. So this is our fraction. In order for us to be able to work out this fraction, we need to be able to, we need to have common denominators. The denominators need to be the same, meaning that they need to be 5 or they both need to be 3. So my first step, or the step that you should be doing when you do this, is you should start out by listing what are the factors for 5 and for 3. We'll do 5, 10, 15, or the multiples, I mean. Now the next one, so this is for 5. Now for 3, I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So after I've listed them out, I could see that the smallest number they have in common is the 15. So I know that both of them are going to have 15 on the bottom. That's going to be my new denominator. So I have 15 and 15 as the new part of my problem. Now, how do I go from, or how did I go from having this 15, how do I go from changing my numerator, the number on the top, now that I've changed the one on the bottom? Because if I change the bottom, I have to change the top as well. Well, this 5, what I did is I multiplied it by 3. One way you can see it's here, 1, 2, 3 times 3. Another way is just simply by looking at it, we know that 5 times 3 is 15. So if I multiply the bottom by 3, I also have to multiply the top by 3. So now I have 3 times 4, and that gives me 12. Now for the other side, I don't multiply it by 3. I have to go, how do I go from 3 to 15? Well, I can multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 times 5, and I also have to multiply the top. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. 5 times 5 gives me 25. Now you'll see that I have a new fractions that I can add because the denominator is equal. Because they're both the same, I can add both of them. So the bottom is going to stay the same. It's going to still be 15. And now I can go ahead and add these two. I have 12 plus 25. I get 7 and 3. So now I have 37. And there is my answer. I didn't ask you to reduce. I didn't ask you to put these in proper fractions or anything else, just for that there. So there is your answer, 37/15. You can go ahead and pause it right now if you want to write all of this down. I'm going to expect you to have this written down if you did not do the problem. So go ahead and pause it and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and start the new problem. Okay, for this one, we're going to jump into converting mixed numbers to fractions. So we're going to actually convert the mixed number to the fraction. These are the easy ones that you all know, but for one reason or another, you missed it. When I ask you to convert these mixed numbers into a fraction, really, the easiest part to it is you could look at it like this. What this means is I'm going to go 10 times 9 plus 6. So that will be 10 times 9 is 90, plus 6 is 96, and I leave the bottom the same. So I have 96/10. It's the same, it comes out to being really the same thing. these two fractions mean the exact same thing. Let's say I wanted to go the opposite direction. I wanted to put this improper fraction in here and convert it into a mixed number. I would go 96 divided by 10. So let's see, how many times does 10 go into 96? Well, we know it goes into it 9 times. 9 times 10 gives me 90. I take it away, I get 6 at the bottom. So now, what do I do with the 6? I put the 6 up here kind of as a remainder, but I bring this little 10 here, wrap it around there, and I have 9 with 6 over 10, 9 wholes with 6 over 10. You see how they're the same exact thing, okay? So pause it, write this down if you didn't get this. We're going to go ahead and move into the next one. And as soon as you're ready, here we go. Now, multiplying and dividing fractions. Again, some of the easiest ones. And some of you guys had said, no, that's not all you do. Really, is that it? Like, really, that is it. If you wrote down your multiplication tables at the beginning, this is going to help you out especially. So we have, for number 9, 2 over 6 times 3 over 9. Can't beat this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You multiply straight across. 6. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. And there you go. Voila. 6 over 54. That is it. So write that down. Pause it now. Now, the division. Division, there's a lot of different ways. Some people say cross multiply, all these different ways. This is how I'm going to go through it, only because I think this is how the guy in Khan Academy did it. So this was number 10, 2 over 6 divided by 3 over 9. So 2 over 6 divided by 3 over 9. It was much easier when we did the multiplication, right? Multiplication straight across. Well, why not do the same thing with the division? So all we're going to do here is we're going to turn this into a multiplication problem where we could multiply straight across, which seems to be what all you guys want to do anyways whenever I give you any types of fractions. So it's almost second nature. So we're going to go 2 over 6, the same here, times, and we're going to take these numbers and we're going to flip them over and swap them. 9 over 3. That is going to equal 18 over 18. And there's my answer, 18 over 18. Some of you took it a step further. You know that the number at the top, 18, is the same as the number at the bottom, so that would equal 1 whole. But that is your answer. Write it down. Pause it if you need a second, and go ahead and start writing that down. Okay, the next one. We want to find what is the percent. What is the percent of one number over a different number? So we have the number here, number 13. We have 480 out of 1,200 percent. What is the percent of 480 out of 1,200? 480 out of 1,200. So there's a couple ways to do this. The simplest way that we went about it the first time was we went like this. We put 480 over 1,200. Then we cross that out. Go ahead and cross out those zeros. If you have 2 zeros hanging there at the end, you can cross them out. They'll cancel each other out, and it'll make your problem a little bit easier. So that now I have something that doesn't look as intimidating. I have 48 over 120. The best thing, or what you need to do now, is you actually need to reduce this. You need to reduce this as low as you can possibly reduce this. Some of you are going to go, oh, well, 2 goes into it. And you're just going to start dividing by 2. Boom, 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 boom. 2 will definitely go into it. And you're going to find yourself on this problem for a while if you stick to 2. So I'm going to take a stab at it. I happen to know. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. For 80, let's see, 80, 40. I can't really quite explain it, but I'm going to take a stab at it and say that 8 goes into it. So I'm going to divide both of them by 8. Pretty sure 8 goes into both of them. So let's see, 120 divided by 8. Again, if you're doing 2, you're gonna get the right answer, but you're just gonna take a lot longer to get there. So 8 goes into 12 one time. 8, take it away. I get 4. 12, take away 8. 4, bring down to 0. 4 goes, or 8 goes into 40 how many times? 15. 5 times 8 is 40. All right, so I know that on the bottom here, I am going to have 15. I got 15 down here. Now, at the top, 48 divided by 8, I know that's going to be 6. Now, here's the thing. This fraction isn't reduced as low as I can. It's not simplified as much as I could possibly simplify it. So I need to simplify it a little bit more. What goes into both of them? What goes into 6 and into 15? I know 3 can go into both of them. So if I divide them both by 3, divide this one by 3, I know that I will get 2 and 5. So now I have 2/5. Let me make that bigger. 2/5. And this here is going to be this next step here is going to be the same as what we did with our it's going to be the same as what we were doing when we were going over ratios. So we have 2/5, and because we're trying to find out the percent out of 100, we're going to put it towards our 2/100. We're going to try and figure out how did we go from this number here? Again, this is the same thing we were doing with the ratios. How did we go from this number to here? 5 times what gives me 100? I know 5 times 20 gives me 100. 5 times 20 is 100. So that means like 20 nickels would give me 100 or $1. But that means then 2 times 20. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 2 times 20 gives me 40. And that is going to be my percent. That's going to be my percent, my answer. Whatever comes up here is going to be my final answer. Now that's a crazy problem. I'm not going to work our way down that one. We went through doing that one in 2 different ways. Do your best. Try your best. If you get it, you got it. If not, we'll work this one out more. Go ahead and pause that there. We're going to go into the next one. Make sure you write them down. We have find the value of each percent. These are easy. You guys like these. You just you kind of have to remember when to use it. For future reference, when you take tests in the future, like when you're in in the other classes in high school or when you're in college, they let you use notes most of the time. And you would have notes to kind of help you guide you through this. So that's why if you take the right notes for this test, I'll let you use these notes as well. Find the value of a percent. This is number 15. It says 33% of 40. 33% of 40. Well, whatever has a percent, you're going to put the decimal on it. 30, 40. So now we go ahead and start. 0 times 3, 0. 0 times 3, 0. I'm going to put my little placeholder 0 there. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 3 is 12. 13. Add these all up. 0, 2, 3, 1. My decimal went over twice. I moved my decimal over twice. And here's my answer. 13.20. Okay, 13.20. All right, and those are the main parts of the test. I'm going to do the other problem, the ratio problem. Pause it. Record that, pause it, and I'll work out the ratio one right here on the same one. All right, we have the ratio of students listening to students not listening is, we'll just say cats to dogs. So the ratio of cats to dogs is 5 to 3. 5 to 3. If there's a total of 40 or if there's a total of 40 animals or pets, if there is a total of 40 pets, how many are cats? How many are dogs? How many dogs? Well, these are the ones we've been working on. The first thing I always ask you to do for this type of problem is I always want you to make the little squares, just because that helps you kind of start organizing. It helps you start organizing your information. So first, it always helps you to read it, reread it, try and understand what you're looking at. The ratio of cats to dogs is 5 to 3. If there is a total of 40 pets, how many are cats, how many are dogs? Always said the ratio is the first part we put, 5 to 3. And we label it. Cats, dogs. I still don't have a better explanation for this, but when we start putting our proportion, or how many it's out of, we actually put 5 at the top. It stays the same, and that's still going to be cats. But now we're looking for the total. We're looking for the total. We're not looking for dogs anymore. We're looking for the total. The best way for me to explain this, or the best way I've explained this, is if, say, I have 5 cats and 3 dogs, I could say I have 5 to 3, just like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 3, or I could say I have 5 out of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 out of 8 are dogs, or cats, I mean. So that number right there, which is 5 plus 3, or 8, goes down here. So now I have these two parts here that are going to be important to figure out this last one. We want to find out our total, and how many are cats. Well, if we look up here, if there's a total of 40 pets, it tells us what we are looking for, 40. Now we do the same thing we were doing with the percent one, where we go like this. Well, how do I go from this 8 to that 40? Well, I know that I can multiply times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 8 times 5, or 5 times 5, is 25. So now I have 25 cats over 40, which is my total. But here's part of the question. I also asked how many are dogs. Well, how many are dogs? That's something that's not the hardest part to figure out. But a lot of you get stuck because we kind of learned the process, but we didn't really understand what we were learning. So we have, think about it this way. We have 25 cats. We have, I don't know how many dogs. and my total is 40. All right, and my total is 40. So 25 cats, I don't know how many dogs, my total is 40. Well, this is just a simple addition problem. 25 plus 15 is 40. So I have 25 cats, 15 dogs. And that's the last one. That's the most important one if you're going to try and boost your grade to A, because you have to make your own problems and also do them in SketchUp and put them in 3D. So please, 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 please do those problems so I can boost your grade up and get it going as best as we can. I'll step back. Write that down, please. When you have this ready and you feel confident that you can take your version 2 of the test, please, please, please step up to the plate.